Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We start with the Hermit card. I feel like you're the type of person right now who is not as outgoing as you usually are, you know. I feel like you're a little bit more reserved. I feel like you're protecting your energy more than normal right now, right? Maybe you're, usually like the life of the party. Maybe you really are very outgoing, you got a lot of friends, very sort of welcoming, very carefree. I feel like right now we kind of put on a little bit of a cloak of invisibility. We're trying to just kind of like lay low, fly under the radar. Maybe this is at home, at work, at school. We're just trying not to be so noticed right now, you know. Maybe there's like some more internal work we're doing, deeper spiritual work right now, so we're not really trying to let our energy dissipate. Okay? This is a card of really protecting our energy and focusing on what's really important. Focusing on the light within, right? Instead of being distracted by all the things out here. Maybe this is a card of a little bit of a digital detox or a technological timeout. Okay? This might be a little bit of I just haven't been going on social media as much lately. I've been focusing on me. I've been focusing on just my intimate circle of pets, plants, people, you know. Maybe we're kind of saying no to more things lately. Yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context and see what's going on with you. Oh, we've got a Tower. Okay. Let's see, what else? A Five of Pentacles. You've got a Devil card behind you. You've got a Knight of Swords and a Six of Cups. Very good. The Six of Cups is wonderful for the future position. Okay. It could be that right now you're dealing with a bit of a personal turning point. Okay. This is the card of a major pivot, kind of unexpected change. Yeah. We have a Three of Swords. We have a Libra adjustment card. We have a Princess of Swords, and we have an Eight of Wands. Something's drawing you out of hermit mode. Okay. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We'll set it down right over here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. We're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Okay, now, as we look around the room, we see major cards. We see fire, we see water, we see a good amount of air, and we see our earth energy underneath the surface here, okay? The Tower is kind of the major event of your life right now, and I think that this is something that is coming as a bit of a surprise, especially when the Hermit is, I think this is a kind of breakthrough that's happening, but this is something that is, it feels like it's involving other people, associates of some kind. I don't know if it's friends, if it's business people, or if it's like somebody that you're like, somebody that you're it doesn't feel like family necessarily. It feels like it's like coworkers or people that you're trying to negotiate with or trying to start some kind of a business with, or that there's some kind of maybe even a technical kind of thing. This is almost like, the repair people that are coming over to your house. It's kind of an intimate setting. They're coming into your home, but you don't actually know them personally, right? The Tower is a card of very abrupt change. Okay, and I think the Hermit is kind of dealing with something that's taking place in your personal space. Okay, this could even be kind of spiritual awakening. During an event like this, I think that it's kind of natural that we withdraw a little bit from our normal everyday life. So this might be a tower here, might be a real kind of spontaneous Kundalini awakening, a spontaneous, spiritual activation. Okay. I think in a very practical way, though, this is something that's happening in your life that's requiring you to focus your attention outwardly. Okay. And it may be that you've been sort of building up to something like this. Like this is the Hermit that's been, focused on doing this very intense spiritual work, and this is the moment where we reach that breakthrough. Maybe this is intense psychological work, or some kind of physical training, or some kind of work or study or experimentation, and the Tower then is kind of this big aha moment. Okay. I think that this is us kind of emerging from this hermit mode. Yeah, it's the moment where you sort of just stand up and you throw the cloak off of you, and you're running outside the house, and you're I think very excited about something. The Tower is always a scary card, though, right? Because it seems like this is a major crisis. It seems like this is something that is changing life forever for you. Okay, so I don't know exactly what this is, but it feels like life is going to be separated into two parts, before this and after this, okay? Before this Tower event, we see the devil energy. To me, this is the engine of the car. This is you driving towards something. This is your motivation. The breakthrough happens, and guess what we have after that? Pleasure. We have tranquility. So this is a lot of intense work. This is like maybe this is a project at work, maybe this is something at home that you've been working on and struggling with and building. It's not something for which you have a timeline, though. So it's not like you're you're adding on a deck to your house or something, and you're just like, I'm just going to keep working on it. It's going to be done, and then I can say, oh, great, it's done. It's like this is a eureka, I've found it moment. So this is something that you've been working on probably for a long time. We didn't have an idea of exactly when it would sort of come to fruition. But the devil energy behind you here is that steady driving force. This is endurance. This is telling me that you've been working on this for a long time. Okay? And you've been steadily climbing this mountain, but it's like we didn't know when we would get to the top. So it's an abrupt thing. This is a sudden change. This is an exclamation point. This is like, aha, this is a eureka, I found it moment. Okay? Down beneath the surface is this Five of Pentacles. This is what you've been focused on. This is what you've been toiling with. This is what you've been, and it feels, again, this is the card that's inside, right? This is down beneath the surface. So it feels like this is something in your very personal life, very private type of energy that you've been dealing with. Okay, I almost wonder if this is some kind of an injury or an illness that you've been battling, and then the Tower moment is when you finally that moment, you didn't know when it was coming. That moment you finally realize that I've gotten through it. Okay, and this is that exclamation point. There's going to be life before this and life after this. And life after this is going to be good. Really, really good. This is really good news. The Tower is a very scary card, but it's the best card. It is the absolute best card because it's showing that whatever limitations, whatever has been holding us back, whatever we've been working on is now kind of being completed. right? Whatever the barriers were. We look at the Five of Pentacles, you see that there's some light that's trying to shine through the cracks. This is the wall of the tower. And you've been chiseling away at it, chiseling away day after day after day. And this is the day, I think, very soon, I think in its next couple days, it's going to happen where these cracks finally, everything opens up and falls away, and this thing is released, whatever it is. Okay? You've been, and I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe this is like maybe it's a business thing. Maybe you've been plugging away at the business again and again, just over and over and over again, fixing what needs fixing, putting in the work. To the point where you've kind of gone hermit. I don't see my friends. I don't see the light. I don't even go out in the sunshine. I'm working. I'm here doing the work. This is what the hermit's focused on, right? This is that moment that it all is like unleashed, you know? It's that moment where all of your efforts are coming to a head. Okay? And it seems like you don't know when this was going to happen. You didn't have a particular timeline exactly. I mean, I think you sort of did. You kind of well let's look at that with the Knight of Swords. We sort of had a timeline, or we hadn't, not so much, I expect this to happen by, the end of summer or something, right? But it's kind of like you said, look, if I do this and this and this, if I do things in a particular order, it'll work. Most likely. So we kind of had an order of operations, but we didn't know how long each phase would take, and I don't know what obstacles I'm going to see. I don't know when things will happen, but I know how they will happen. Does that make sense? So I know if I do things in a certain order, it will come to this big breakthrough moment, this big revelation, this big event. But I couldn't tell you exactly when all those steps will happen. Yeah. That's what we see here with this card. But we did it anyway, and we motivated ourselves. That devil energy is your creative drive, your aggressive drive, and your pleasure drive. Whatever this outcome is, whatever this pleasure is, this is bliss. It's worth it. Okay? And it's happening now. Whatever you've been working on so diligently for so long, where the hermit has been probably like not going outside as much. You haven't been enjoying the summer like all your friends. You've been sort of, you've been at home. You've been keeping your head down. You've been doing this work. Maybe you're working on some kind of a project at work or something where there really isn't a time frame. It's kind of like it's done when it's done. I think it's getting done. I think this is the moment where you finally, you've figured it out. You put the last piece in the puzzle, and the whole thing is activated now. And it's changing your life big time. To where, again, it's separating. This is the timeline shift. This is the moment where you realize you're moving to a new timeline, okay? Shifting into a new universe, so to speak. Because there is life before this tower event and life after the tower event. It's how you're going to kind of mark time in your personal life. This is the story you're going to tell. Is you're going to say, you're going to be old, sitting in your rocking chair and think, this is the moment everything changed for me. This is the moment that separated my past from my future. This is really, really big, okay? And we see in the future position the tranquility, the love, the peace, the community, the sense of family, okay? I don't know if there's I don't really feel this strongly, but it's kind of like this is maybe the moment that we realize that we are, that the goal that we've been wanting, the goal that we've been working toward is finally here. That's something we've been trying to do now. Oh, it's finally worked. Your experiment or, whatever you've been doing, that's the tower event. It's that really feels like an explosion of joy and happiness and celebration because it finally worked. Okay? Maybe it has something to do with starting a family. I don't know. Just putting that out there. This is tranquility and bliss. Okay? It's also the card of community and family and togetherness and connections and value, right? Feeling like we're part of something, feeling almost like we've like we've, I don't know, I almost feel like your name is being like immortalized on something, you know? It's like this is that kind of a breakthrough where it's just like, it's something that sort of solidifies your legacy in a way. Yeah. But I know that this, as your immediate future, is going to be a real celebration. I think that this is you getting out of hermit mode. You're going to go tell your family and friends, hey, I've done it. The breakthrough happened. It's here. This is it. This is the moment. And I feel like you're telling all your friends. Does that make sense? So yeah, very, very interesting. I don't know what this is exactly. It has something to do with other people and some kind of a negotiation, though. Okay, it may be like this is the day that, you know, something, I don't know if it's something's finally ending or something was finally accepted or passed through. You got the job, you got the, you know, you went on a lot of auditions, and this is now your breakthrough sort of contract kind of thing. Whatever it might be, you're going to be celebrating, you're going to be sharing the news with your family and friends, okay? Path of the Serpent, we're going to talk about these cards. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The Three of Swords, you're someone that has dealt with a lot of doubt. I think there have been moments on this path where you didn't believe this was ever going to happen, because this is kind of a card that's like existence is suffering. You know, this is kind of like I'm starting to really lose hope, especially when we're in that hermit mode. When you're sort of isolating yourself a little bit, doing this intense work. I believe that you went through a lot of periods where you felt like, what am I even doing here? That the hermit's been down in the alchemical laboratory for so long, the hermit's starting to think, I don't even know why I'm here. Is this my life? Am I just supposed to be here doing this work, or am I creating something? Like, is there a reason for doing this? What's the end game? It's kind of like we started to just get almost adjusted to this hermit mode and thinking that's going to be the rest of our life. You know? But it's not. The hermit mode that you had to enter, which again is kind of like you've had to isolate yourself, you've had to say no to a lot of things because you're focused on some very important work. We don't want to start to feel like this is my life and I'll never get to do those fun things again, that I'm just going to be here, you know, in this laboratory doing this work for the rest of my life. So the Three of Swords is saying we went through a lot of difficult kind of mental states about this, but the thing is you kept going, because I think you kept reminding yourself that there's a big reason for this. There's a purpose here. Once the answer comes, once the pieces fit together, once the breakthrough happens or whatever it is, things are going to be very, very different. So I think we kept reminding ourselves that, because the Three of Swords is all about the memory. It's all about understanding the process of change on the mental plane. And I think that you kept yourself motivated by your thinking, by reminding yourself that, look, I'm here, I'm going through the stages that are necessary, and I know what the outcome is going to be. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know that I'm doing this work for a particular end. That's the thing about the knights. The knights are always looking at the future, and they understand that what I'm doing now is to create a future state. So all the toil of the hermit right now is to create this future state, to make things better, to live up, to experience this bliss, or to be part of this group or part of this family, or to establish your legacy or whatever it might be. Okay, whatever that pleasure is for you, this is the outcome we want. And so we know that this is a temporary stage. But I think that you've been doing it for so long that we had to kind of remind ourselves that, hey, look, this is not my permanent life. This is just what I have to endure right now so I can get this pleasure, this bliss, okay? In the environment, you have your adjustment energy. I feel like you had to also, a lot of negotiations or business deals or contracts or paperwork involved here for something, okay? This is in the position of your relationships and your environment. This is a lot of professional relationships, okay? I think that you haven't had a lot of personal relationships lately. That's what this is, okay? And this is your immediate future. So things are really changing for you, because I think you've been all business. Maybe this is at work, this is in you own a business, or you're starting a business or something. But this is like every relationship I have, every interaction I have, is for the business. There's always, it's almost like that's kind of your agenda right now. Has been every relationship, every conversation I have, every person I meet, every phone call I make. It's not just for my pleasure. There's a purpose to it. It's to establish something. It's to keep, it's in some way related to this work you're doing. I think all that's going to change. I think everything's going to be sort of released and everything's going to be established to where you're free to kind of just do the personal things, to do things just for their own sake. Okay? Personal relationships that feel good, that don't have to have like the business aspect to them. Okay? And so we kind of feel that this is a card now of really being able to reestablish the balance. It's kind of the work-life balance, right? You've been really focused on this work. I think we've postponed our personal life until someday in the future, when this work is done or you've reached a particular point to where you've had the breakthrough that you're looking for, then you can have your personal life. I think that's kind of what we're doing now, is we're sort of getting back to some of this, yeah. And so we're finding a little bit of that balance, but I think it's really coming from this breakthrough, this really big pivotal moment in your life that, well, this may be a vacation, okay? The Princess of Swords in the position of the obstacle or the fear, worry, concern, and I think this really plays into our Three of Swords a little bit, because sometimes we feel as if I don't know what I'm doing. This is sometimes we're doubting our own efficacy. The Princess of Swords is always this kind of perpetual student, thinking I don't know the answer, I'm not good enough, I'm just here to learn. But I think that you have the mindset of a student, but you have like the work ethic of like almost like a scientist, you know, where it's like, I don't know the answer, but I know that if I keep toiling away at this, if I keep working on this, I'll get the answer. I will learn what I need to learn. Okay? So I think that there's, we've gone through periods of doubt where we feel like, I don't know what I'm doing, I feel lost. But I think you're also somebody that's given themselves a lot of forgiveness. This is the card that says we're allowed to not know. We're allowed to fail sometimes. We're allowed to, that's why we're in the laboratory. We're experimenting. We're saying, what happens when I mix this with this? Oh, okay, that didn't work. Don't do that again. Okay, so we're kind of like, we've had to learn what works and what doesn't work. I feel like this is your own business. I feel like you started something, and it's about to blow up. Like, it's about to really skyrocket, And I think it's because you haven't diminished your own progress, nor have you allowed your ego to swell. I think you kept yourself humble, you kept yourself hungry, okay? And you're understanding that, there's always more to learn. I need to observe other people and how they do it, and I need to take in as much as I can. And that's, again, kind of related to our Libra energy here. And those types of business or professional kind of relationships, it's a way, every interaction that you have, every book you read, every television show you watch, every person you talk to is in some way feeding back into your investigations or the work that you're doing. So it's like you're not even watching a TV show just to like unwind, just to have fun and for no reason. It's just you're learning something from it. Okay. And something to take into your business or into this work. I think when this breakthrough happens, you're going to find ways to just enjoy your life, okay? Just to watch some television that doesn't have a real direct purpose related back to the work you're doing, just for fun. This is doing things just for fun, okay? It doesn't all have to be about the business, The Eight of Wands here in the destiny position, the final outcome here, that is a lot of freedom. Okay, to me, that is a very fast-moving energy. I think that things are really going to take off for you. And I think you're going to find yourself even busier than you were before. So it's very important that we do maintain that work-life balance, that we find ways to unwind and connect with our family and friends, our pets, our plants, our people, and do things for their own sake, for self-care, for personal development and things like this, not always relating things back to the work you're doing, okay? but just having fun just for the sake of fun, connecting with your people without any kind of, other agenda. Yeah. The Eight of Wands to me also feels like freedom of movement. Okay, so I think that something, whatever you're doing here is perhaps giving you a kind of financial freedom. See, the Five of Pentacles is a lot of movement on the physical plane. So a lot of moving pieces, a lot of parts being put together. The Five gives way to the Six, and the Six, of course, is the beauty and the harmony of something. So it's almost like you're fixing something, and once it starts working now, then you can just go and enjoy it. It's kind of like this energy here, the hermit's in the garage working on the car. And I know that if I put the car together in a certain order, eventually it'll work. I don't know exactly how long that's going to take, but I know how to do it, right? So I have a plan, I just don't know how long that plan will take. But once I fix the car and I restore the harmony, then we can just go drive the car and we can enjoy the car, we can travel with it, we can go to get some ice cream in the car, we can do all these things. It sort of opens up a lot of different pathways for you. So this may be something financial, maybe something mechanical, whatever it is for you specifically, it's opening up a lot of freedom of movement. Yeah. Let's look at this mystery card. I think this might be the Sagittarius card, your superpower card, the art or temperance card. This might be the Empress. I feel like this might be another card of balance. So we could get another Libra energy. We could get the Justice card, or your Temperance card would be that balance too. Okay? Maybe it's going to be a Six of something. Let's take a look. The Ace of Swords, the clarity, the truth, the mission, right? This is kind of like, this is your single focus. This is your one-pointedness and your concentration. I feel like for right now, until this breakthrough happens, this work that you've been doing has been your only focus. You know, it's kind of like you're saying, nope, I can't do the family or the friends things. I have to do this. This is your mission. This is your quest. That you've taken up this sword and you've kind of said, look, this is the only thing that's on my mind right now. You're not thinking about friends. You're not thinking about having fun. You're not thinking about just enjoying yourself or going swimming. No, you're thinking about the work. This is it. You've been focusing all of your mental attention on this work. It's such a concentration of your thinking that I think now it's really, it's worked. It's, there's the breakthrough that's happening. And that breakthrough is then allowing you some mental rest, some reprieve, some bliss, some harmony, some tranquility. Okay? And maybe that's where we kind of see now your energy is just scattered into other places. You don't try to, it's kind of like if you concentrate too hard on something, then you're going to it's mental stress. Sometimes we have to just relieve that stress. Okay. The tension that we create in our minds by that focused concentration, this is kind of the opposite of concentration. This is like my mind's just going everywhere, all directions. So it really, to me, feels like the opposite of this, but in a very good way. So it's not a Five of Swords, right? It's not just reverting to mental chaos. No, it's like we've concentrated so hard that we've had the breakthrough, and now it's kind of like our mind is just free. Okay, and I think a lot of different pathways are opening up to you, and it's kind of like you're finally coming up for air, So this is a lot of tension that's been building and building and building as you've been focusing on this. That breakthrough is happening, and then we have to enjoy the aftermath here and just let our attention be free for a little while. I hope that makes sense, because it feels like there's been such a concentration. Now there needs to be just a little bit of like dissipation. Just let your attention be free a little bit. Yeah. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Sagittarius Tuesdays and Fridays. Schedule change. Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings, okay? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.